I'm Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur. I happen to be of Polish-American heritage from the state of Ohio. On May 3rd of this year, Poland celebrated the 219th year of its democratic constitution. And indeed, our own constitution was signed but 2 years earlier in 1789, beginning with the words, "We the people." The ideas contained in both documents were revolutionary ones. On our respective continents at the time, revolutionary ideas about democracy, that is, about the inalienable rights of every individual, regardless of station in life, to have liberty, dignity, and worth in the law. These profound concepts, though incompletely conceived at the time, ushered in a new era of human history. That history of freedom struggle has been won with enormous sacrifice. Poland, for its visionary constitution, was wiped off the map of Europe for over a century and partitioned out to 3 adjoining empires. Poland's valiant struggle as a liberty-loving nation in Central Europe has helped enlarge democracy, including that of the United States. And this began with Poland's historic contributions during our own revolution, when Polish generals Kazimierz Pulaski and Tadeusz Kosciuszko laid out the plans for victory by our Revolutionary Army and saved George Washington's life. In the modern era, Poland's odyssey toward freedom is defined by its heroic solidarity workers' movement that threw off the yoke of Soviet oppression, leading to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 that had divided Europe for half a century. Poland became the first captive nation to throw off that yoke. But Poland has paid a tremendous price throughout its history for its enduring commitment to liberty for all people. It had a higher percentage of minorities living within its borders prior to World War II than any European nation, nearly 1/3, with the largest Jewish population in the world, then its Slavic majority, and scores of minority groups. World War II began with the invasion of Poland, the annihilation of 3 million of Poland's Jews, and 7 million Polish Slavs and minorities. Poland was then partitioned again by Nazi and Soviet forces. She suffered a higher percentage loss of her citizens, 20%, over 10 million people, more than any other nation engaged in that horrific war. The genocide at Katyn in 1940, ordered by Joseph Stalin, is part of Poland's noble sacrifice and martyrdom for liberty. There were 21,857 of Poland's military officers, intellectuals, and leaders who were murdered and their fate hidden for 70 years. Such history requires us all to ask, to what end did they die? And what will we do retrospectively to document and archive the histories that remain lost to humanity? Reconciliation between victims and perpetrators requires fortitude, perseverance, courage, and truth. So what will we do? And what will we do prospectively in their memory? It is a solemn duty. Now again, tragically, incredibly, with the loss this spring at Smolensk, Russia, of Poland's present-day leaders, including its president and the generals of each branch of its armed forces, and citizens dedicated to recording for all time the history of the Katyn massacre, we each must challenge ourselves in their memory. For Russia, too, the enormous sacrifices and needless loss of millions upon millions upon millions of innocents in Stalinist times demands historic recognition and honor. What will we do, prospectively and retrospectively, in their honor? We must record and reconcile the past. It is our sacred duty. But our eyes must firmly focus on a future that can be so promising for a broadened partnership among free peoples. How can reconciliation and cooperation build a better life for all, learning from that past? To commemorate the lives that were lost, it may be appropriate for the United States to consider joining Poland and Russia in properly restoring the archival records of those who were massacred in and around Katyn in 1940. It may also be proper to challenge our nations to consider establishing an enlarged exchange program and partnership between the United States Congress and the Polish and Russian parliaments, focusing on leadership development and common legislative research challenges for a modern era. With history's exacting expectations, we are gathered here today.